book, we really were designing it for people in networks, meaning people from in a district where you'd go from school to school, several people would come in, and it's actually, that's part of the subtitle of the book. What we found is that there were a lot of people who were either in single schools or couldn't get their whole district to sign up, or were separate freestanding charter schools, or whatever. There were a lot of different audiences who came and said, these ideas are powerful, how do we use them? And in the beginning, we just said, you know, the ideas are powerful, use them, and let us know how it works out. And after a while, they did come and let us know, so much so that I ended up writing a book called School-Based Instructional Rounds, which came out a few years after the Instructional Rounds in Education, and it includes 5 stories, 5 cases of places that were using it to transform their work. I'm going to tell one example here, which was a mid-sized urban district in the Midwest, 50 schools, and their goal was to have teachers examine practice. That was the underlying goal. That was their purpose. And they used network rounds, cross-site rounds, 6 schools in a network, visiting each other once a month, doing reflections and so on, going through the work that we describe in the book. And they'd use that as a way to both get initial focusing on improving practice, but also develop the capacity of people at the school level, including teachers as well as administrators, in doing what they then called internal rounds or school-based rounds, where they weren't being visited by others, but they were being visited. They were still following the format of the book, using the same instructional core, and developing practices. And 2 things that were interesting. One was they set up a rubric to track the progress of the different schools who were in this, and they ended up identifying several different things that mattered: how well they had understood the practice of instructional rounds, but also what kind of improvement strategies they could put into place and what instructional leadership looked like, because those were the things that really helped move things forward. The second thing that was interesting in this story is that they were open to many flowers blooming, and they didn't say everyone had to do school-based rounds exactly the same way. They provided some sub-release and some help with the facilitator. But what they ended up happening was they had people, some of them were doing Japanese study and tying it to instruction rounds. Some of them were doing lots of other things that ended up being quite creative and led to significant improvement, and their ultimate goal, which was how to have teachers, staff focus on their practice and get better at it.